New home, but the same Greenville triumph as they open up their 5th USL League One season against a familiar foe presented by ScanSource. It's the Triumph and the Richmond Kickers here on ESPN Plus at Paladin Stadium, the new abode for John Harkes' side as they play against the Darren Sawatsky-led Richmond Kickers. As we take a look at the Hopkins Eye Center power rankings, this is how the teams were slated to finish before the season started. No use looking at standings when teams still haven't played games yet. So here's a kind of an idea of what many pundits and people thought these teams would land at. And as you can see, Richmond and Greenville, the prospects looked good before the season, and why not? Two very talented teams with a lot of returning pieces, and of course, two great head coaches leading the way. But there's also new pieces that have been acquired by the Greenville Triumph. Devin Boyce, who was electrifying in 2021 with Union Omaha. He was all over the pitch, and he'll be joined by returnees Alan Gavilanes, who won't be in the 18 today. He's still recovering from an injury, but he'll be here for the season, and he's looking to take another step this year after taking a massive jump last season. And then Jacob Labovitz starts on the bench today. He's got some competition at the top of the formation now, but hey, competition only sharpens the iron, and Labovitz in his rookie year was so good at scoring goals, and he's looking to take it up another notch this season. And someone who's all too familiar with scoring goals, of course, is Emiliano Terzaghi. Last week we highlighted the new additions to this Richmond team, the new faces, and you gotta give credit where credit's due. Sometimes you just gotta keep it simple. Emiliano Terzaghi is still here. He is the 3-time league MVP, and until you prove a way to stop this guy, he's going to keep scoring goals year in and year out. Greenville will have their hands full with him. Richmond will be looking to funnel the ball to the Magic Argentine man because he is just that capable. Well, get ready to brace yourselves for another clash. These two sides always keep it good between each other. Two great units in Greenville Triumph and the Richmond Kickers. Kickoff is just on the other side of this break. We'll see you there on ESPN Plus.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know,
It's not about building a home in just 30 hours for a deserving family with Habitat for Humanity, or about building homes for a national television competition. It's about building memorable experiences with our community, team members, and trade partners that will last for a lifetime. Hunter Quinn Homes, building the difference.
You know, I'm just feeling a lot of pressure. There's big shoes to fill.
It's your time now, Tommy. I know you'll keep it special like your dad did.
If we can keep this business growing, I think that's the best way to honor him.
Well, I was there for him, and I'll be there for you.
About this new location,
He would have loved it, Tommy. Let's find a way.
At Piedmont Natural Gas, being a part of the communities we serve is important to us, because to us, community begins with you. We strive to address the needs of our communities by investing time and resources to help improve the quality of life for our customers. For over 60 years, we have funded programs that support education, the environment, and community impact. Our Energy Assistance Program, Share the Warmth, helps customers pay their energy bills. We're committed to helping our neighbors by powering the vitality of our communities.
This USL League One broadcast is presented by ScanSource, proud partner of the Greenville Triumph. And here are your starting lineups brought to you by Spartanburg Regional Healthcare System. Greenville for the first time this season lineup. A lot of familiar names here, a couple of new ones, especially between the pipes. Jared Mazzola got acquired last year by the Triumph, is getting the look in goal with the departure of Paul Christensen. Also, if you look up top, Leo Castro recently assigned is in the starting 11. Meanwhile, for the kickers, same lineup as last weekend, except for who's in goal. Will Palmquist getting his start. Played a very little bit last season, but he will take up the big shoes of Akira Fitzgerald today as we return to Paladin Stadium, home of Furman, and now also the home of the Greenville Triumph, as Terzaghi kick things off, and we are underway between Richmond and Greenville. It is week 2 of the USL League One season, and these are two sides that have played each other quite a few times, featuring the two coaches that have coached every single year of USL League One soccer, the only two. The 5th year of this league's existence, John Harkes having coached every year for the Triumph. Meanwhile, Darren Sawatsky all but 1 year with the Kickers, the very first year with FC Tucson. As both sides exchange possession a couple of times and get used to this pitch. Eventually that home field advantage will come for the Greenville Triumph, but here in this first game, they'll be getting used to it as well. I had a chance to train on it a couple times, but there's a difference between training and game time. Getting his feet on it now is Jared Mazzola, 24 years old, from Katona, New York. Signed his first pro contract last season with Greenville. Came in and sat as the backup to Christensen. And Ben Hale went down with an injury. And then Will Palmquist just played a few minutes last season for the Kickers. So the presence in goal is green for both sides, as Belmar gets that one knocked away from him. Vignol's on it now. And he'll deflect it off a man and out for a Richmond throw. That's Michael Hornsby, the new left back for the Richmond Kickers, but not new to USL League One. Played for Fuego last season. It'll be Nathan Awney, who we know can launch this ball. He'll send it into the 18. And there's Devin Boyce getting active, and now it's dished right back to him. Boyce running down this right-hand side, rolls the ball forward, trying to connect there. Looked like Liam McKinnon, the rookie acquired this year for Greenville, excuse me. Walker, familiar face for Greenville, exchanging their back and forth with Daniel Wu, who is lining up at one of the center back spots in Brandon Fricke's absence. For the Greenville Triumph in the starting lineup today, the new faces, Jared Mazzola, but was with the team last year, Daniel Wu at a center back spot, Tevin Shaw from FC Tucson, another great midfield piece, and just cleans up shop defensively. You've got Liam McKinnon, who, although a more attacking-minded player, listed as a part of the midfield today. Devin Boyce, as I previously mentioned, from Union Omaha, or last year he played for Memphis. And then Leo Castro, who was just acquired this past week, who is starting up top with Venton Evans. Talking to John Harkes, the manager for this Greenville side. Talking about the offseason, he said it was great, and it's nice when you can get in a good 6 good weeks of practice. And he mentioned that the chemistry is there. The new guys are blending in nicely with the old guard. Now he gets a chance to see it on the pitch for the first time this season when it counts. Throw here. You can hear the fans roaring. They're lining up on the near side, so although you don't see many sitting in the stands from our perspective, they're lined up right beneath our vantage point. Get a Wonderful view here at Paladin Stadium, some of the rolling landscapes of Greenville, South Carolina. And of course, a fantastic over-the-head view of this game. Give you a better chance to see how the game will develop. It's going to be a free kick for Richmond. Nil Vinyals, along with Justin Suko, one of the new additions for Richmond this season. Vinyals plays it in. Suko tried to keep that one in play, but it bounces out. It'll be a goal kick. Well, actually, they're going to say it's a corner kick.
For the kickers.
Must have come off a Greenville player. Or maybe Suko didn't actually make contact with it, one way or another. The assistant pointing in favor of the visiting side. So Michael Hornsby will swing something in for the kickers. This is a PNC's corner for kids. First one of the season from Greenville. As this one's headed down. There's nowhere to go with it. Couldn't try the back heel. And now Greenville looked to spring a counter, but a loose pass will not end up meaning anything because a foul will go in Greenville's favor. Player going down in the process. I believe Liam McKinnon went to the turf. Select the official match ball supplier of the USL League One and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit www.selectsportamerica.com for the latest select products, specials, and more. Select the player's choice. I'm going to take a moment to fetch one of those select balls here to get things going once again. Evan Lee will give it to Tyler Pollock, two guys who have been with Greenville since their first season. Since Greenville's first season, to be specific. Pollock lays it up to McKinnon. He liked to tap it forward to Pollock, who was making a run. They won't call a penalty there as he went down chasing the ball. And Palmquist will redistribute. Here's a look at the replay here. Bentley was the one beside him. This may be Greenville's first game, but Richmond played last weekend against the Charlotte Independents. You'll see some of the highlights at halftime about that game, but as a little bit of a spoiler, it was a 0-0 draw at American Legion Memorial Stadium. Talking to Darren Sawatsky about that game, he said, from the business end, I have no problems with the result. A point on the road against a tough team. But when he went on to assess the game, he said it was a tale of two halves and we need to create more chances. Those were the negatives. And on the positive side, though, he thinks that not many teams are going to keep Charlotte scoreless this year. They are really good and real potent offensively. They're already the highest scoring team in League One last season, and then you add Dane Kelly, the all-time leading goal scorer in USL Championship. I mean, what's up with that? The rich getting richer in that facet. Meanwhile, here's a chance for Richmond. Ball being played to the 18 and pinged out. Want to create more chances here today against Greenville. And they've already got their second corner kick of the day. Another PNC's corner for kids. Nil Vinyals will take it on this side. Swings it in, headed away by Wu. And then that one will go down the tunnel. Luckily, we've got a couple extra select balls to work with. So Greenville's season last year ended in the semifinals against Tormenta Legacy Early College, the former home of the Greenville Triumph. That one will go out and will be a goal kick. And talking to John Harkes about how he felt last year went as a whole. He said that he felt that we lacked a bit of composure and confidence, talking about his side in the final third. They added Leo Castro, number 25. We haven't seen much from him yet today. They said that Castro will bring some of that calmness. Castro's a pro, came in fit. He's ready to go. So although only getting added recently, he'll get into the mixture here, and he's got the ball to Boyce, who tried to turn. Well guarded and dished away. Nice little flick there from Vinyals. Greenville definitely bolstered that attacking core by adding Leo Castro, Liam McKinnon, who loves to get at that back line. And then, of course, Jacob Lavovitz, your leading goal scorer, 12 goals last season, sitting on the bench, at least today. Oh, a nice move there. Ball squared across the center and deflected away. And then a poor touch. Possession retained for the Richmond Kickers. Ani will look to switch things up. And that looks to be a third corner kick. Richmond will get another take at it on the set piece.
Corner kick for Richmond.
It's PNC's corner for kids. Vinyals swings it in, it's headed down. And I don't know if that made contact with Mazzolo or not. But that was pretty close.
Corner kick for the Kickers.
It'll be another corner kick for Richmond. Here's a closer look at it. I think that went off the post. Either way, made contact with the Greenville player. So here come Richmond. Here's a shot, and it bends in! Richmond scores! From the top of the 18, a wonderful strike. Carlton Belmar puts it on the far side. Gives Richmond their first goal of the season and a lead on the road.
Scored by number 99, Carlton Belmar.
Steps by Boyce here, shakes him off. And why not let it fly? Former Colorado Springs switchback. Coming to USL League One, Terrence Sawatsky said that he felt Belmar was lacking a little bit in the game last Saturday. Well, it looks like he has taken that step up today and has already left his impact on this game. Now Greenville will look for a response. Aaron Walker plays it back to Shaw. Shaw sends this one forward. It's bouncing around in the 18, no neglect for Greenville, but now Walker tearing forward. Walker has to keep it in play, he does so. Serves it in. That one had too much height on it. Venton Evans was looking to engage. Evan Lee plays this one forward. And in the sun, Devin Boyce will deflect it off of Hornsby. I guess he didn't suffer a deflection because it's going to be a goal kick. Will Palmquist. So far, so good for him. Hasn't had to do anything too precarious. 25 years old from Denver, Colorado. And I'm sure for him, he wouldn't mind if his back line just keeps everything nice and zip-tied shut. wins it back. Evans ushers it over to the corner, tries to then swing it, but kind of worked himself into a bind there. Getting escorted by 2 Richmond defenders. Richmond coming into this game, it is their second game, so they had the chance to get one under their belt before playing Greenville today, as this one's won back by Castro. Breakaway opportunity for Greenville. Castro still working on it. Couple of touches. Kicks it out. Boyce with it. Now the service comes in. Headed away confidently by Ani. How about that move from Vinyals? Still with it. Now Richmond could be working with something here. And Belmar has that one knocked away by Schultz. But talking about that game last week, Darren Sawatsky said that it was a little bit of a feeling out game. And he said, I don't know if other coaches will agree, but it felt like a short preseason, and we're still working on a product. We're not finished yet. And he continued on talking about how they got to create more chances, didn't have a lot of touches in the 18 in that game. Solid defensively, of course, but still room for improvement there. Of course, as far as the chance creating department, he can be pretty pleased with already being up 1-0 before even 20 minutes through. And as far as chances are concerned, it is skewed heavily in their favor. So right now, Greenville have not registered a shot yet. Had a couple of forays into the 18, but nothing of particular peril. League One stalwarts here, both been a part of the league since its inception, Greenville and Richmond. And when it comes to scouting out this Kickers team, I asked John Harks is it any easier when you know, especially early in the season when you don't have a ton of tape on these teams, that you're going up against a team like Richmond where you kind of have an idea of what they're going to offer, what they're going to pose. This one is won back by Greenville. John Harks assured me, though, that, I mean, we got to take our due diligence when we look at teams, he was telling me. But we are familiar with what threats they pose, where we can attack them. We know this Richmond team really well. So it was a bit of a yes and no from John Harks when I asked him. Yeah, Greenville's familiar, but also you still have to do the proper amount of preparation. You can't cut any corners, as this one's given away. Castro, tap it back. Boyce down the right-hand side, sends it into the middle, but too much error on that one. Both Castro and Evans at different spots were looking for it. Along with Liam McKinnon, all three of them inside the 18. Much preparing you can do. John Harks added that anything can happen on game day, but our guys are properly prepared for what they're bringing and how to handle it. And he always makes the point to chirp in that Darren also always brings a good side that'll play you hard. And they're seeing that here early. I posed a similar question to Darren Sawatsky, and he said that there are some things you do know about this Greenville team going in. You know that John will be pragmatic about his approach. He'll figure out what works best for this arrangement of guys he's got on this roster this season. So although you could change the back system a little bit, adjust formation structure, know that the cornerstones of this Greenville team will be the same. They'll be staunch defensively, they'll be organized, and they're going to feed a striker quite a bit. Last year it was Labovitz. Darren mentioned this year it could be Castro, Labovitz, McKinnon. Both these teams very much prepared for what the other side will pose. with some room to work with. Here come Richmond. Bentley plays across the middle, but the offside flag goes up. Just looking for a sliding Terzaghi across the middle, but it wouldn't have counted. So now Greenville will push it forward. McKinnon. Right on that right-hand side now. And a whistle will blow. It'll be a Richmond free kick. Nice day in Greenville, South Carolina. 75 degrees. Wonderful weather. Play some soccer here, especially early on this season. Was looking around some of the USL Championship games that are happening earlier today. I saw it was, a light flurry of snow in Detroit, so count your blessings where you get them. Of course, once we get to the summer, every day will be blistering hot, but during these first few months, we can get some pretty crisp games. Of course, if you're just tuning in and you're watching and you're realizing this isn't Legacy League College, which is where Greenville played their first 4 years, you'd be correct. It is Paladin Stadium, also in Greenville, South Carolina, home to the Furman Paladins. They're able to pull off an upset in March Madness this season against John Harkes' alma mater, actually, University of Virginia. What a wild game that was. Sure, he had some conflicted feelings about that one. The stadium housing 16,000 seats. Expanded back in 1985 to its now capacity, its current capacity. I'll reiterate, not too many fans lining up on the seats on the far side, all of them right underneath our vantage point. See, there they are. Looks like the Reedy River right there. Evans. Gets it right back from Pollock. Benton Evans with the step, but it was too heavy of a step. And he'll go out for a goal kick. So I mentioned the fans, and there they are. Look at them. Excited to see their team back in action and playing once again. This is the second road trip for Richmond, so they haven't had their first home game yet. I know some fans have stocked up and are watching this game, just eagerly waiting for that home opener at City Stadium. I'm sure it'll be electric there. They always bring the energy. They'll be able to do it next weekend against Charlotte Independence, so already playing them again. But it'll be on home grass and at that wonderful venue. We'll get this one thrown back in, and things going once again as it goes back to Mazzola. So with Christensen's departure from Greenville, we once again ask the question, who is the guy in goal? Richmond hasn't really had that problem these past few years with Akira Fitzgerald. Of course, Palmquist starting today. But it seems to be a bit of a goalkeeper battle this season for the Tribe. You got Jared Mazzola in goal. Ben Hale, who is still recovering from his surgery, will also be in the mix in that regard. Sean Harkes admitted that His team's young in goal. Both are capable, though. He said our goal is to keep them calm, and right now it's either guy's spot to take. Starting with Mazzola today because of Hale's recovery. But Ben Hale apparently played well against Charlotte's second team, and that's referring to Charlotte FC, the MLS side. Played all 90 minutes of that game, Ben Hale. So as far as who the guy will be, more up in the air than I think it really ever has been for Greenville. Dallas J was the certified guy to start off for Greenville, and then Christensen was pretty comfortably in that spot all last year. And Boyce taken out just outside the penalty area. So it'll be a free kick for Greenville. Nathan Awney, the one on the foul. One part of the center back pairing this year for Richmond, Awney and Barnathan. A lot of praise from Darren Sawatsky this week about Nathan Awney. Here's a look at it again. Just knocking down Boyce there. Boyce and Polak will be the ones who will look to service in a nice ball. Boyce with the bender, punched away by Palmquist. Quickly get a peek at this again. Boyce is trying to connect with Evans. Now Greenville will go at it again. Walker. That's Wu to Lee. Polak plays to the top, and on different pages there, Liam McKinnon with a nice touch, but Devin Boyce was not looking for it. Neither him nor Leo Castro went for it. Perhaps that was a touch he made in a month or two. We'd be seeing a shot on goal, but as of right now, still working out all of the intricacies. Chemistry is such a big thing in this game. Knowing what players can do, what they will do in certain situations. Barnathan plays it down to Belmar, the goal scorer. And they'll say it's a goal kick. Belmar insistent that Nate Schultz got a touch on it. It's got a big smile. So typically we're used to seeing the center back pairing of Evan Lee and Brandon Fricky for Greenville. It's become oh so customary for this Greenville side. A new center back pairing duo with the departure of Jalen Chrysler for Richmond. Of course, Awney has been around the block with the Kickers, so he's not a new face. Just now sliding into that starting role with the Dakota Barnathan. And Bentley with the cross will bounce all the way to the other side and out for a Greenville throw. Talking about Awney, though, Darren Sawatsky said he's been very good in the preseason and could have started last year, but the case was what it was. I mean, it's kind of hard to get past a guy like Jalen Chrysler, especially when he already had the starting spot the previous year. And Darren said outside of Greenville, Awney and Barnathan know each other the best in the league as far as center back pairings go. He went on to say that if you look at how many games Lee and Fricky have played, it's no wonder Greenville does so well every year. You gotta have continuity in those spots if you want to find success. I think that's the kind of continuity that Darren Sawatsky looks to build in his side, not just in that center back spot, but just across the table. Such a familiar side from last year. I mean, just in this starting lineup alone, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys, 8 guys, excuse me, who played last season for the Kickers. McKinnon keeps this one in play, enters the 18. McKinnon still going, test to Castro. And he tried to pop it, but he put too much air underneath it. Dangerous moments here for Greenville. The two new additions connecting on the attacking side. Liam McKinnon and Leonardo Castro. Boyce wins this one back for Greenville, but then Castro, once again, or that was actually Tevin Shaw. He's not on the same page with McKinnon. Boyce brings this one down after the header from Venton Evans. Now Hornsby lays it up the pitch, headed right back down by Schultz. Vinyals did well there to shield and draw the contact from McKinnon. Don't miss a minute of the action in 2023, whether your club is on the road or at home. Catch nearly every second of USL League One action on ESPN+. Home to the USL, MLS, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. This one up for Belmar will instead be regained by Greenville, and Mazzola will blast this one down the pitch and out of play. Giving ball back to Richmond. The more we continue to build the club, changes will come, is what John Harkes mentioned when talking about this new stadium. He said that their relationship with Furman is good, and there's a lot of good synergy between Furman University and the Greenville Triumph. He said the guys are ready to go and are prepared to adjust to a new venue. Of course, you establish a routine and an understanding as Terzaghi lets that one fly. You never know with the wily veteran. When he pulls something like that out of his hat, could find its way in. I'm sure he also knows that it's not the most experienced goalkeeper back there. He's trying to catch him sleeping. And that's a man who knows how to score some goals wherever they may be. 17 of them last year, but yes, over 40 goals for the Kickers since he made his way over to Richmond, Virginia. Getting chased down by Terzaghi a little bit there. Now Polak had aggressors coming from two different places. Mazzola plays it up the pitch. And this one will bounce out of play. Richmond looking to apply some more pressure here as the half gets closer to a close. Bentley trying to shrug off McKinnon. He gets the ball out. Vinyals taps it back. Moran. Hornsby trying to wind around Evans, and that'll go out for a corner kick. Venton Evans getting the last touch on it.
Triumph fans, experience all-American handcrafted cheeseburgers straight off the grill by visiting.
There'll be another PNC's corner for kids as Neil Vinyals makes his way over to service another corner. I believe the last one they took ended up being a goal for Carlton Belmar. dishing it over to the corner for Belmar to take. That one headed down and will bounce out. And it's going to be another corner kick. Came off a Greenville player.
Corner for the Kickers.
Another look at this here. Maybe we can catch who this grazed off of. Maybe came off of Evan Lee. Not a single corner kick for Greenville today. Richmond. I believe this is their 5th corner kick. It's PNC's corner for kids, maybe 6th. This one headed down, then headed away by Wu. Then more properly cleared out. Now Richmond back line will recollect it. All the way to Will Palmquist. Moran will play to the center, just out of reach of the outstretched leg of Leo Castro. Hornsby working again. Dubbed not only one of the best linebackers in League One, but would be in Championship too. Just such a good player. That was the appraisal of Darren Sawatsky. Big Michael Hornsby fan. He's been involved in this game so far today. Another League One match underway. Two teams getting their season going. Chattanooga Red Wolves and Northern Colorado. The Hailstorm playing at CHI Memorial Stadium. Another member of the League One cluster here in close to the East Coast. Greenville, Richmond, Chattanooga, all not too far from each other now, of course, Northern Colorado. That's a bit further away. Vignoles bends this one in and ends up coming off of Barnathan there and out for a goal kick. Was supposed to see another 7:30 kickoff between Tormenta and Charlotte, but got delayed. Which just gives you fans who watch this game a chance to watch more of that one once the action does take place. Fitch. Look to throw this one back into play. Bonnie trying to send that one up the pitch and instead finds Tevin Shaw. Greenville just trying to find a way to push forward right now. Had some chances earlier on, many courtesy of Liam McKinnon and Devin Boyce, 2 new additions. Right now the difference. A wonderful strike from Carlton Belmar, the veteran striker. Daniel Wu will walk this forward. Former Hoya of Georgetown before making his way to the professional ranks this season. There's McKinnon pushing forward. And Bentley saw the opening and knocked that one out of danger. So we aren't seeing the likes of Brandon Fricke or Alan Gavilanez today, as Greenville pushes forward. Still going with it. Castro flicks it on. McKinnon with the volley. Tried to slice that one towards the net. Didn't get the cleanest of contact on it. It was Venton Evans who pushed it forward. 3 different new additions making contact on that ball. Castro, along with Devin Boyce. And it fell to the feet of Liam McKinnon. But talking about sort of an established starting 11, I talked to John Harkes and I mentioned how hard is it right now with the side you've got to figure out what your 11's going to be. And he said that his side's got a good idea of what they have, and they've got a plan in place. They know the core, but they also know the different dynamics between players that could provide different elements for certain matchups if they need it. It seemed like he felt good about where Greenville's at in that regard. One back by Richmond. Moran laid it up for Terzaghi, who goes down, no foul called. Now Wu plays it forward. He's got Evans running. Evans gets that one knocked away by Hornsby, and it'll be a corner kick. First corner kick of the season for Greenville. PNC's corner for kids, and it'll be Boyce who makes his way over. You wonder, because Don Smart and Alan Gavilanez took the bulk of the corners last season. Who was going to be the guy to go over in this situation, with Smart now in Lexington and Alan Gavilanez not available? This PNC's corner for kids will actually be Tyler Pollock. Service comes in. There's Walker to Shaw, and they'll cycle it around once again. Schultz plays this one in, and it'll skip wide. Not sure what the intention was there, whether it was a shot or if he was looking to put that one into the thicket. Nate Schultz, not too far off target. Was acquired late in the preseason last year and came in and plugged up a spot at that right back position that Greenville needed at that point in time. Has not let it go since then. Been fantastic at that spot all of last year. Castro walking it forward. Plays it to Boyce. Walker playing it forward. We get to stoppage time brought to you by Engineered Sleep, the best handmade mattresses in town. Visit engineeredsleep.com for better sleep. Just 1 minute tacked on here.
Stoppage time for the first half.
Officiating crew led by Abdu and Dai. 30 seconds to go. Richmond might look just to walk this one out, have the 1-goal advantage, but could create one more chance here if they connect cleanly, and they do not. So now Greenville could look to make the final push. Shot to Walker. Sprays it out to McKinnon. McKinnon with the curling effort inside. Down for Boyce. His touch was a little bit loose there. Schultz hooks it back in. Headed upward. McKinnon. Castro gets a touch on it, but not a dangerous one. And there will be your halftime whistle. Carlton Belmar the difference in this one. A beautifully bended strike in the 12th minute gives Richmond the 1-0 lead over Greenville here, going into the locker rooms. And there's the man right there, born in Virginia Beach. Back to Richmond, back to that state he was born in, and has made a difference in this one. With that in mind, we're about ready to step aside just for a moment, but we got some halftime content coming your way. If you did not catch the action last weekend, I'll give you a recap on that one right on the other side of this break. It's 1-0 in favor of the Kickers here from Paladin Stadium. We'll see you after this one on ESPN+.
I mean, there is no playbook for how to handle a pandemic. I had to learn how to do everything that I'd been doing with mask on, socially distanced, which is very hard. But my mission remains the same, because really now more than ever, kids will remember their teachers.
The South Carolina Education Lottery raises millions of dollars each year to help students like Katie prepare for their dream careers.
We offer a full array of dental treatment, and what that provides you as a patient is you're able to come to one place and get comprehensive care under one roof.
I've always been greeted with a smile. They know me when I call. I trust them.
We'd love to see you at Wood Creek Dental. Visit us at woodcreekdental.com.
Fifth Third Bank. Yeah, it's a quirky name. But here's the thing, 5/3 equals 166.7%. So we put 166.7% into everything we do. Like automatically getting you your paycheck up to 2 days early, giving you well-deserved extra time to avoid overdraft fees, and helping you borrow from your future self. This is banking a Fifth Third better.
Halftime here from Paladin Stadium between the Richmond Kickers and the Greenville Triumph. It's week 2 of the USL League One season, which means we did already have a weekend of League One action last weekend. So let's take a trip back to that in case you missed out on the action last weekend. And if you're a Richmond Kickers fan, you didn't miss the first game of the season for your side. To be fair, you didn't miss any goals in this game, a 0-0 draw between the Charlotte Independents and the Richmond Kickers. But for Akira Fitzgerald, that's not the worst result in the world. His 100th League One appearance, and he got another clean sheet. Especially impressive given the vaunted attack that this Charlotte Independent side has at their disposal. Gabriel Oberton, Trazer Mbuyu, Dane Kelly getting added to the mix, Corey Bennett on top of that. I don't think a lot of teams are going to be blanking the Independents this year, so Richmond can feel good about going on the road and getting that kind of result. And also, the two brand new teams, one Knoxville and Lexington Sporting Club, went at it and traded penalties to start things off at the Regal Soccer Stadium, which looks to be another wonderful venue in USL League One. We saw one get converted by Jimmy Villalobos, and then Don Smart putting that goal away, making it one apiece. Two familiar names for League One fans. And then right before the half, Jalen Crisler would keep this one in play, and then Jake Keegan would put that one back in. Keegan scoring a goal in this opening game for Knoxville, their first goal on the run of play. He seems to have a knack for scoring goals early in the seasons for clubs here in USL League One. He's been around since the league's inception, and he just kind of has a knack for knocking them in really early on. First, with the Greenville Triumph, he scored their first ever goal in both 2019 and in 2018. You see him here logging one against the Lansing Ignite in that first year of USL League One action. And then he would do it again in the opener. Look at that diving header all the way down in South Florida, getting that finish done. Then he'd move over to Madison, and he'd get the first goal there as well. Look at it here, all the way in Tucson. Doesn't matter where this guy plays, he's able to log goals into the back of the net. And then in 2022, want to add a little bit of an asterisk here, because it wasn't the first goal in league play. They scored first in the Open Cup against the Oakland Roots. A wonderful volleyed effort from Jake Keegan here. Gets his first goal of the 2022 campaign combined between League One and the Open Cup. They would end up winning that game, and then, of course, he would score against Knoxville just last weekend. So early season, Jake Keegan just knows how to get it done. And we've got more halftime content to get done here on the other side of this break. We'll see you then.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know, really wanna know.
More halftime content here for you to consume as we look at the news and notes from around USL League One. Akira Fitzgerald, the first player in league history to make 100 regular season appearances. He's not making the start here in goal today, though. On top of that, a lot of players being called out for the CONCACAF Gold Cup qualifying games. Olex Anderson, Nelson Flores, Blanco getting the call for NCFC to get name a couple guys who did. Meanwhile, the CBA got announced before the season, and it's great for players, great for the league that the players have a little bit more representation, and we'll get more guys to come to this league, even if maybe the spots are a little bit more selective, as teams can't just have a guy on for no reason and not pay him if he doesn't play. So that is a nice, handy thing for guys coming in and playing in USL League One. And our first team of the week on the season, Jimmy Villalobos with the Player of the Week nod. Akira Fitzgerald in his 100th appearance, getting the clean sheet against the Charlotte Independence, as we talked about in the previous segment on halftime. Here's a look at the scoreboard. Of course, Chattanooga and Northern Colorado still 0-0, and South Georgia Tormenta and Charlotte Independence were supposed to start at 7:30 at the same time as Chattanooga Hailstorm, but did get delayed. Some rain over there at Optum Health. As we also see some of the games from last weekend, we went over the highlights for the 2 Saturday fixtures. And now we got what's coming up next, including tomorrow. We got more League One action. Omaha and Madison get their season started. Always a bit of a fun little rivalry between those two sides. And then April 1st, things really get going. All those games, what a wonderful Saturday that will be, including Central Valley Fuego, who are the last team to get their season started next weekend. And then, as I said in the first half, the Richmond Kickers hosting their first home game of the season. But with that in mind, we got 45 more minutes coming your way. We'll step aside for another break. Highlights and stats are coming up next.
Part of the communities we serve is important to us because to us, community begins with you. We strive to address the needs of our communities by investing time and resources to help improve the quality of life for our customers. For over 60 years, we have funded programs that support education, the environment, and community impact. Our Energy Assistance Program, Share the Warmth, helps customers pay their energy bills. We're committed to helping our neighbors by powering the vitality of our communities.
It's not about building a home in just 30 hours for a deserving family with Habitat for Humanity, or about building homes for a national television competition. It's about building memorable experiences with our community, team members, and trade partners that will last for a lifetime. Hunter Quinn Homes, building the difference.
I mean, there is no playbook for how to handle a pandemic. I had to learn how to do everything that I'd been doing with mask on, socially distanced, which is very hard. But my mission remains the same, because really now more than ever, kids will remember their teachers.
The South Carolina Education Lottery raises millions of dollars each year to help students like Katie prepare for their dream careers.
Fifth Third Bank. Yeah, it's a quirky name. But here's the thing, 5/3 equals 166.7%. So we put 166.7% into everything we do. Like automatically getting you your paycheck up to 2 days early, giving you well-deserved extra time to avoid overdraft fees, and helping you borrow from your future self. This is banking a Fifth Third better.
Tonight's USL League One broadcast is presented by ScanSource, proud partner of the Greenville Triumph. The sun has set in Greenville, South Carolina. Richmond leading 1-0 over the host side Triumph as they get their season going. Let's take a look at the highlights from the first 45 minutes of action. The Kickers are the ones who have something to boast about, and it was right here in the 13th minute. Carlton Belmar gets that one sent to him in the corner from the corner kick. And how about that strike? Fantastic work from him. Not much more you can add to that one. Just give it to a striker, and a striker shakes off Devin Boyce and then gets the job done. It's perfectly placed outside of the stretched arms of Jared Mazzola. And Greenville tried to find some responses. Will Palmquist getting the start today. Was able to swat this one away before it could reach Venton Evans. then as it went on, Terzaghi tried to pull a fast one here. I said it when it happened, and I'll say it again. Anytime that guy decides to put his laces through it, you hold your breath for a moment because you might be witnessing something wonderful. Kinnan tried to pull off something wonderful on the other side, slicing that ball inside the 18. A couple of deflections came his way. Couldn't test Palmquist just enough as we look at the Warehouse Services Incorporated halftime stats. Greenville with the possession advantage, and although they have the shot advantage too, I'd say Richmond generating the more genuine chances here. Of course, that's easy to say when you're up a goal to nothing, but I think even without that goal, Richmond looked the more dangerous side. Greenville had a couple of moments, though, that they can look back on and maybe attribute to lack of chemistry early on in the season that maybe would have proved to be more dangerous had it been later in the season. But those are all ifs and buts. Fact of the matter is, Richmond has a 1-goal advantage, and they'll be looking to hold it for the next 45 minutes. See some light up styrofoam sticks here. I believe the official term is cheer sticks. You know, styrofoam, and they light up. Their theme for today's game is a 5-year birthday party for Greenville. They'll become more effective here in the second half. Still had sunlight leaking in for the first 45 minutes. Abdul Ndaye, the head official, is walking around with the ball as both sides make their way back to the pitch, switching sides. Greenville now going left to right, Richmond right to left. So we do have a substitution. Devin Boyce has made his way out of the game. And as you can see right there on the right-hand side, Jacob Labovitz, the team's leading goal scorer, has come into the game. Let's see what the second-year man has in store. They need a goal. He brought them last season. Richmond knows that all too well. Labovitz scoring a hat trick against the Kickers at City Stadium last year. One of the very few hat tricks we had last season. So here we go, 45 more minutes. Will Richmond hang on to this advantage, or will Greenville add some more excitement to this game? Well, we got some sort of excitement here. Simon Fitch getting the yellow card. He hit Evans on the face. A long ball from Wu. It looks like it's clotheslined him. Very easily a yellow card there.
A caution has been issued by the referee.
Another nice addition to this new venue, or not an addition, but it is a new addition to the broadcast. We get the electric boards, which were on the other side at Legacy Early College. So we couldn't see them on the broadcast, but you could certainly see them there. That substitution brought to you by Spinks, by the way, as this one's headed up. I don't believe any changes for the Kickers, as they'll look to maintain this advantage for the next whole 45 minutes. Moran right up that right-hand side. Vinyals gets tripped up. And it'll be a free kick for Richmond this time. So if you missed the first half and you're stunned by the change of scenery here for the Greenville Triumph, this is Paladin Stadium as opposed to Legacy Early College. 5 to 6 miles away from their previous home. A little bit further away from the center of Greenville, South Carolina. Saw in the first half some of the scenery. Wonderful landscape around the stadium. McKinnon gets that one to ricochet off of Hornsby. Vinyals with a good tap. Terzaghi will take it forward. Plays it to Belmar, the goal scorer. Belmar looking to connect back inside, and Evan Lee will ping that out for a corner kick.
Corner kick for Richmond.
This will be our first PNC's corner for kids here in the second half. Vinyals plays it short. Gives it back to Terzaghi. Terzaghi gets that one scuffed off of Tevin Shaw, and it'll be a throw-in for Richmond. Some flag waving here from the Reedy River Riot. Ani lofts this one in. Headed out by Wu. Ani veers around, couldn't keep that one in play. It'll be a goal kick. Jared Mazzola in his first pro appearance. Play it forward to Walker. Walker all the way down the pitch trying to find Labovitz. Evans just does enough to keep it from rolling out for a goal kick, but it'll be a Richmond throw-in instead. So one thing I wanted to bring up to Darren Sawatsky, after watching their game last week, I looked at their starting lineup and it dawned on me that every single one of the guys in that lineup had played in USL games. 10 of them had played in USL League One. Many of those spent many seasons with the Richmond Kickers. Belmar is the only guy who hadn't played in USL League One, and he played in USL Championship. So also valuable experience in the USL landscape there. And I asked Darren, how much different is it that the environment, the discussions the players are having in practice now as opposed to when he came in 2020 to start off this Richmond Kickers project? And he said, when I came in, there were lots of unknowns. I needed to find guys who wanted to be a part of building a strong team chemistry year to year. McKinnon squares this in the middle. It's off the crossbar. Labovitz, oh so close to leveling it. Just fractions from a Greenville goal. Now Hornsby going the other way. Slips by Schultz. Still Hornsby. Taps it out. Moran slips it through to Vinyals, then it's cleared away. Labovitz tried to dish it, and now it'll go out for a Greenville throw. We need to wind back a moment and take a look at this. Long ball from Shaw. McKinnon does so well to keep it in play, square it, and Labovitz, oh so close. Nearly opened his tally for the season. there. Playing advantage, and let's let Greenville take the free kick here. Zola will play this one up the pitch. And it'll come down for Venton Evans. Walker chips it to Labovitz. Whips it back inside to Walker. Trying to avoid some mayhem here before he plays it back to Polak. Wu plates it up the field and doesn't connect with Schultz. Well, as I was saying before, that chance. When it comes to building this Richmond team, Darren Sawatsky said that we needed guys who would stick around and build that experience. They didn't have a ton of it going into 2020 on the roster. And then he mentioned, this isn't meant to mean this meant, excuse me, that we have not taken talented guys that we could have because we needed players who would fit for Richmond. Not to say those guys were bad characters or bad people, but they just didn't quite fit what we needed, which were people that were going to fit the culture, stick around, be here year after year. So the fact that they've got a team like this year is very much by design and what the Kickers have been looking for since Sawatsky took over. And it worked to their benefit last season, winning the Shield. Vignoles. Into the 18 he goes. Shakes by Wu. Vignoles trying to roll it forward. Plays it back to Belmar. You know he can shoot it. He's already demonstrated that once today. I believe that's Suko. Couldn't quite get that one out. Looks like Noah Frankie is warming himself up. Might be plugging himself into the game. Another attacking option for Greenville as they have a player down. Good showing from Greenville tonight as they continue to check up and make sure that Tevin Shaw's doing all right. So he'll get walked off the pitch, and looks like he'll walk it off and intend to get waved back into this game. Will be a free kick for Richmond. It looked like maybe a handball as that ball split between the two Greenville defenders. And I believe that ultimately was the decision from our officiating crew. So the Kickers with a chance here on the set piece. Too much bend on it, and I also think a player went down, so a free kick awarded to the Triumph. One way or another, it's the same sort of free kick situation. So already having to manage some injuries here, Greenville. It was an issue that plagued them last season. That's John Harkes' injuries and how they were hit by them last year affects how he's approaching them this year, because he mentioned that with several players when kind of giving me the scout on what they've got this season, especially with the new guys. He said some of them are still working back and recovering, so they want to play it safe. Devin Boyce was a name he brought up, so subbing him out at halftime certainly was probably in the plans before the game even started. Labovitz launched that one. Now McKinnon, excuse me, that's Castro. Now the shot off the mark for Evans. Now we're gonna get a substitution here, and I think McKinnon is gonna come out. And in comes Noah Frankie. Frankie only played about 7 games last season. Had to battle through an injury all year long. He was supposed to be that right back coming into the season, got hurt, and then Nate Schultz, a late acquisition, came in and really flourished in that spot. Frankie sort of turned into a spark off the bench kind of guy. Talking about those injuries, Frankie, another one of those guys that fell victim to it last year. Sean Hark said that injuries are going to come. Sometimes it's the workload, sometimes it's a hard surface, and sometimes last year it did sort of feel like the team was cursed, but everyone faces adversity. Every team faces adversity, and you have to overcome it if you're going to win a championship. And that was not something that they were able to do last year in the playoffs. So they'll look and hope that they don't get hit by an injury bug this year, especially down the final stretch. Something you can wish for every single team. Lee knocks that one away for a Richmond throw. So at this point in time, the Richmond Kickers have an expected goal of 0.1 to Greenville's 0.6. As this one slips through, the flag will go up. Excellent save, though, regardless, by Mazzola. The Triumph have been continuing to make their way forward as this chance. Almost a great opportunity for the Kickers, but not quite timed right. Triumph getting oh so close to leveling earlier in this game with Jacob Labovitz off the crossbar. I'm sure where a lot of that 0.6 came from, 0.65 now. This one over to the left-hand side for Evans. Facing some pressure from Bentley. Pushing him into a wall there, so he had to retreat and give it to Evan Lee. Greenville throw. Paco Craig leads Miami FC into Kentucky to face Josh Winder and the reigning Eastern Conference winners, Louisville City FC. Don't miss the start of the new season on the USL on ESPN Saturday, May 13th at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Frankie trying to make something happen on the right-hand side. He didn't keep it in play, and it'll be a goal kick.
Previous substitution for Greenville. Entering the match, number 13, Noah Frankie. Leaving the match,
this one back
number
in play
9,
as the PA announcer announces the previous substitution, Frankie. in the game for Liam McKinnon. Palmquist will blast this one forward. Evans is letting it bounce off his forehead, and it'll go out for a Greenville throw. Two familiar faces in that Richmond midfield with Zaka Moran and Neil Vignoles, who've now been here for a couple years. But also Justin Suko was added to the fray both last week and today in the starting lineup. This one's lofted up the pitch. Vignoles puts that one forward and into the hands of Mazzola. But as I was saying about Suko, Aaron Sawatsky called him a Swiss Army knife. Could play anywhere in the middle and could probably line up in the back as well. Said that you need that flexibility. You can only have so many players, and although it sounds nice to just throw in someone who's 17 when you got a player who's hurt, give a young guy a chance, but some players just aren't flexible like that, and of course that's a stressful situation to be put into, especially with the new CBA and teams having to be a little bit more careful about who they buy. Suko could be oh so valuable, as this one nearly won back by the kicker, or by the Triumph inside the 18. That'll be a free kick for Richmond here. Palmquist in his first start with Richmond plays this one down the field. Comes from New Mexico United before making his way over to Richmond last season. Talking about Will Palmquist, that is. Schultz quickly throws it in. Labovitz to Shaw, taps it to Evans, who gets tripped up. And that will be a free kick just outside the penalty area. Fitch already on a yellow card. Has to hold his breath there. Here's a prime free kick spot for Greenville. Aaron Walker has proven in the past that he can take a good shot from here. He's alongside Fenton Evans and Tyler Pollock. So Walker won't be taking it. And actually, looks to be Leo Castro there with Pollock. Let's see which one takes it. I would put my bets on Castro, but you never know. Pollock could have something up his sleeve. Rolls it. Castro shoots and it ricochets. Pollock follows up, ricochets again. That time off of Ani. So Richmond stand tall there. And Lee will play it back to Mazzola. Here's Frankie. Landing up the pitch. Schultz. Can't get that one by Hornsby. Frankie. Schultz connecting with Walker. Walker into the 18. It's knocked away by Bentley. Here's Evans. Gets it knocked away from him. But he recovers possession, will play it back. Another long ball coming in. And no one in sight for Greenville. New additions this season for the Greenville Triumph, at least a couple. Jacob Lavovitz, the one with the biggest chance so far today. He's recovering from a concussion, hasn't trained a lot. Only was in practice 7 to 8 times this preseason. And nearly had his team level here. A lot of competition for him this year between McKinnon, Labovitz, Castro. He's Castro on the ball right now as he plays it back to Wu. Devin Boyce can also be put in that mixture of attacking players. And that one will bounce out for a corner kick. PNC's corner for kids for Greenville. Game's starting to stagnate a little bit here. The Triumph's trying to find that leveling goal against the Kickers. A bending effort from Belmar in the 12th minute remains the difference in this one. Pollock will trot his way away from the ball. Frankie might be the one taking this one. Frankie curls it in. Wu heads it to the top. Schultz tried the shot, and he got a lot more of a Richmond kicker than he did of the ball. And we're going to get a substitution here for the Kickers before they get things going again. Matthew Bentley will come out. Jake Meekum will come in the game.
Substitution for Richmond. Entering the match, number 16, Jake Meekum.
23 years old from 9, Las Vegas.
Matthew Bentley. In the 71st minute.
And much like his teammate in goal, Will Palmquist, spent time at the University of Denver. 2 years at UNLV, then 3 years at the University of Denver. Talking about Jake Meekum. So a defender in for a striker. Richmond making their intentions clear. Their priorities are no longer offensive, but just holding on to the advantage they have intact. Zola, knowing that he has a little bit more leniency forward, can push the ball up the pitch. Schultz swings this ball in, knocked away. Nearly juggled back down by Evans. Walker hacks at it, then it's cleared away by Moran. Go out for a Richmond throw. Yeah, Will Palmquist played for 4 years at the University of Denver, had a 0.89 goals against advantage across the 4 years, which is a great number. Just a staunch defensive program, the University of Denver, and someone who likes defense is Darren Sawatsky. Mentioned he was happy they got the clean sheet last week, and they'll be looking to obtain a second one in a row. Evans pushing forward. Has different thoughts in mind. Gets it knocked away and earns a free kick. Didn't look like Hornsby got contact on the ball there. So it'll be Polak and Walker who will look to take this free kick. Walker floats this one in, headed down. The offside flag goes up anyway. Labovitz behind that back line. I think he would have liked to have made better contact with that ball either way. Let's look at it again. And it was definitely ahead. But still, with that look, put that one on frame. Get some target practice in. You also play it back. Suko up the pitch to Belmar. Vinyals going forward. Vinyals into the 18. Still with it. Tried to get it by the keeper. And stretching out his arm there was Jaron Mazzola. Nil Vinyals ever nifty on his feet. Tried to pull a fast one there. He's able to get by Shaw. Trying to slide that one by Mazzola, but he was up for it. Now Castro swings this one in. Although no contact is made, Greenville is not able to take advantage of the cross. Labovitz sends it in. It's Frankie. He pops one up, and Palmquist doesn't cleanly get it. And it will go out for a corner. 15 minutes to go. And we got a PNC's corner for kids for the home side.
PNC corners for kids taken by your Greenville Triumph.
Ball swings in and emphatically cleared away by Belmar. Guy who has to get back to 90 minutes fit, said Darren Sawatsky, but he's a known commodity. I said in the first half that Sawatsky was a bit disappointed in the output from Belmar in the first game. Of course, the goal scorer here in this one. So I'll bounce out for nothing dangerous for Richmond. Will Palmquist, the keeper, getting the start today. Akira Fitzgerald between the sticks, which is also common for the kickers, not even on the bench. Fitzgerald also, though, of course, acts as the goalkeeper coach for this kickers team. So, you know, he'll be cheering on and hoping for the best for Palmquist. He shared a couple of good tips and tricks throughout Palmquist's time here, working under Kira Fitzgerald. Moran can't keep that one in play. It'll be a Greenville throw. Definitely bunker mode time for the Richmond Kickers. Anytime ticking away is time well spent in front. And Vignals getting fouled there, and it'll be a free kick for Richmond. Looks like we might be seeing the lights of Luke Pavone coming into the game. Had a couple appearances last year. He's taken the shirt off and is ready to go. Now he's getting a talkie to from Darren Sawatsky. Another whistle here from our official. We will get a substitution, but it won't be on the
entering the match.
Greenville side. Well, actually, it will be for both sides. Jonah Bigger coming into the game for Venton Evans.
In the 80th minute.
The youngster coming in and getting an appearance here in the first game of the season.
Entering the match, number 14, Luke Pavone.
And then Luke Pavone will make his way in.
Emiliano Terzaghi.
And he'll sub in for Terzaghi.
In the 80th minute.
So the Argentine will come off. And Pavone, who's now in his 5th year with the Kickers, so he's been around since the team made the switch to USL League One, will get the chance to appear in this one. Luke Pavone from Rochester, New York. Of course, now he spent 5 years in Richmond, Virginia, where he's well acclimated into the Richmond community as Lucas Coutinho comes into the game.
Exiting the match, number 2, Daniel Wu, in the 81st minute.
Daniel Wu is out, the center back, and Lucas Coutinho coming in to give some more firepower offensively for the Triumph. So late substitution there in that little window for Greenville. But Coutinho, the Brazilian, will look to pull some strings and make some things happen for the Triumph in this last 10 minutes of action. Couple whistles from our official here. It's going to be a yellow card for Nil Vignals. Right, official Abdu and Diet.
The referee has issued a caution to Richmond's number 10, Nil
An issue
Vignals,
there with Vignals.
in the 82nd minute.
Not sure if it was time wasting or words said. As Jared Mazzola will jog his way over to the spot. Send Fleets forward. All the way down the pitch it goes, and it's Headed upward. Bigger will track it down. And let it go out of play for a throw. Just 18 years old. Now Richmond will push forward. Frankie gets that one to bounce off of Hornsby before playing it forward for Castro. Walker now. And he'll put it up the pitch, and only Hornsby's there for it. And they'll provide the clearance. Frankie tried to slip it out wide to Schultz. Ball still popping around in the 18. Schultz play it back, but a foul is going to be called, and the Kickers will get a free kick. Much to the resounding boos from the fans. Watching Greenville and Richmond from Paladin Stadium, the new home of the Greenville Triumph. All the fans here stashed on this near-hand side underneath our camera. There they are. Enjoying the day, a wonderful day in Greenville. Nice 70 degrees. For a goal kick, and we do have a Greenville substitution on the docket. We'll see if they get the go-ahead, and they will. Noah Pilato is coming in for Aaron Walker. On top of that, Chandler O'Dwyer is awaiting an entrance in the game for the Kickers. Pilato, another one of those guys who struggled with injuries last year. End up really being a core piece of this midfield for the Triumph. Justin Suko comes out for O'Dwyer.
Substitution for Richmond. Entering the match,
the Englishman coming into the game.
Chandler O'Dwyer. Leaving the match, number 19, Justin Suko, in the 86th minute.
Time continuing to tick down here. The Kickers trying to hang on to the advantage. Goal from Carlton Belmar is where we find things here. Still scoreless between the Hailstorm and the Red Wolves. And we also did get underway between the Independents and Tormenta. So you'll have two choices of League One games after this one concludes if you need some more soccer in your life after this. Chance to look at Chattanooga and the Hailstorm this season. Meanwhile, Tormenta and Charlotte both played last week. So we got to look at this collision once again. You know, Dwyer just took one straight to the face. He just subbed into the game. I got to make sure that everything's all right upstairs. That one will rattle you. From Linkfield, England. That's the way back into the game. Worth noting, although just having started recently, Charlotte have already scored. So on the road, getting a goal rather quickly in that game. Labovitz heads it down, trying to volley it, but no success there for Greenville. Shaw. Coutinho plays it back to Pilato. That one suffering deflection. Labovitz halfway brings it down. Now Shaw. Out to Schultz. foul here called on Jacob Labovitz. It appears, or Frankie actually. Frankie subbing into this game. Turned 28 today. Shaw out to Polak. Schultz lofts this one up the pitch, trying to connect with Castro. But Moran collecting it, then gives it away. Bigger plays it left. Here's Frankie. Little 1-2 there. He has to chase it down, though, in the corner. And Frankie gets that one tapped away. It'll be a Greenville throw. They quickly take it. Nice little exchange. Schultz across the center, and it doesn't make any contact. 3 different Greenville players around. It's a good little moment there for the Triumph, but nothing to come of it. Shaw decides to take the shot himself. Greenville starting to throw everything they can now as we approach 90 total minutes. And here's a look at it again. It's nicely done. Schultz is wide open. And just not quite on the same page with Biggert, who had the closest connection to that ball. Ball lofted in, headed down, headed back into the fray. It's not cleared out yet. Schultz taps it wide. This one rocketed well off the mark.
Stoppage time brought to you by Engineered Fleet.
Suffered a deflection, so it's going to be a corner kick. It's PNC's Corner for Kids. And we have got 5 minutes of stoppage time brought to you by Engineered Sleep, the best handmade mattresses in town. Visit engineeredsleep.com for better sleep. Corner kick time for Greenville. They've cranked up the intensity. Ball serviced in, nearly connecting with Shaw. Bouncing up and down, juggled a couple of times. Ani trying to escort it, and it rolls out of play. And that's a goal kick for the Kickers. Palmquist. Although I've seen some danger spark around before him, he hasn't needed to make a save recently. Polak does just enough. And will ultimately get the free kick after colliding with Luke Pavone. Once again, Pavone, the long-time Richmond kicker. Was around even before the Darren Sawatsky era started. Frankie pops this one back in place, and Palmquist comes down with it. Just needs to hang on for 3 more minutes to get a victory in his first start. Say a push from Pilato will mean a free kick for the Kickers as we reach the near halfway mark of stoppage time here. Vignoles to Belmar, and his touch is poor. So Schultz will throw it in. And it's won right back by Belmar. And he'll send Pavone running, but I think the offside flag is going to go up. And Mazzola will rush up the pitch to get this one started. So Mazzola gets the go-ahead. I think Pavone's going to get a yellow card here. Pavone getting a yellow card there as this one bounces all the way down. And Palmquist collects it.
The referee has issued a caution to Richmond's number 14, Luke Pavone, in stoppage time.
Time ticking away as Frankie plays it back to Schultz. This one played up the pitch by Pilato. 1 more minute plus whatever the ref decides needs adding on after that, if any. Here's Polak. Schultz has to track it down. He doesn't get there. Belmar can run this one down the sideline. And he gets by Schultz, at least for a moment. But moment is what he's trying to take here. Labovitz slicing in from behind and will be given a warranted yellow card. And that might just do it here. Richmond looking to string together 2 straight clean sheets, but not both by Akira Fitzgerald. Will Palmquist looking to collect a clean sheet here. And if you were a Richmond fan and you saw they had 2 road games to start the season, and someone told you 4 points are going to come out of those 2 games before going home to City Stadium, I think you take that in a heartbeat, especially when you're going on the road to Charlotte and Greenville. 2 teams with high aspirations this season. Belmar holds it. And Greenville got to get up the pitch quickly. And the final whistle blows. The Kickers coming on the road and finding a win here. A 1-0 result. Carlton Belmar, one of the new additions to the team this season, rocking one home early on in this affair and giving the Kickers all 3 points and a clean sheet to Will Palmquist in his first start. A great night for the Richmond Kickers.
Thank you for supporting professional soccer in Greenville. And remember, together we triumph.
So they crashed the party here in the home opener, season opener for the Triumph at their new venue. Aaron Swatsky's side with 4 points now early on in this season. Can now start thinking about next week. But first, let's review some of the action from this game and our GSP Airport high-flying play of the match. Jared Mazzola, also the new goalkeeper, getting the start. Makes a great stretching save here, keeping Greenville in this game. But it won't be enough here in this one. 1-0, your final scoreline. John Harks will go to the drawing board and look at the tape and figure out what happened here. And we'll step aside and look at some of the highlights and the stats on the other side of this break. But your final score, Richmond 1, Greenville 0. We'll see you on the other end on ESPN+.
I'm just feeling a lot of pressure. There's big shoes to fill.
It's your time now, Tommy. I know you'll keep it special like your dad did.
If we can keep this business growing, I think that's the best way to honor him.
Well, I was there for him, and I'll be there for you.
About this new location,
He would have loved it, Tommy. Let's find a way.
At Piedmont Natural Gas, being a part of the communities we serve is important to us because to us, community begins with you. We strive to address the needs of our communities by investing time and resources to help improve the quality of life for our customers. For over 60 years, we have funded programs that support education, the environment, and community impact. Our Energy Assistance Program, Share the Warmth, helps customers pay their energy bills. We're committed to helping our neighbors by powering the vitality of our communities.
And welcome back here to Paladin Stadium, where the Richmond Kickers have come on the road and knocked off the Triumph 1-0 in their home opener, their season opener here on ESPN+. My name is Mark Schoenster. We'll recap things here as we take a look at the highlights here between these two sides, brought to you by GSP Airport. And this was ultimately what separates the two sides today. Carlton Belmar. How about that shot? Greenville would conjure up some chances here. Liam McKinnon would try to slice this one towards goal. Will Palmquist, in his first start as a kicker, would get the save and would ultimately end up getting the clean sheet here today. How about a 90 minutes for him? He'll continue to plot at it in the first half, Greenville, but they really couldn't come up with anything too dangerous. And then here, this was the moment that they'll look back on. Jacob Labovitz, oh so close to leveling it. Great ball from Shaw, a great touch by McKinnon, and then Labovitz just fractions, molecules off from scoring. And then the Kickers would throw in a chance or two, but for most of the second 45, their objective was clear, and that was to hang on to the advantage that they had obtained. But Vinyals, when given the opportunity, looked to see if he could double their advantage. But that would do it as we look at the full-time stats brought to you by Coca-Cola. Greenville had possession, they had the shots, they had the shots on target, but ultimately nothing of a quality that would earn them a goal in this one. Labovitz, like I said, very close to that, but close doesn't cut it. The Kickers, they're the ones who had the moment of brilliance from Carlton Belmar, bending it past the stretching arms of Jared Mazzola, and that would end up being enough to separate them from the Greenville Triumph and getting all 3 points on the road. So they'll be going home April 1st for their home opener against the Independents. Meanwhile, John Harkes' side, their next game will be an Open Cup match on the road against Phoenix Rising. But for our broadcasting crew here tonight, my name is Mark Schoenster. Appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you next time. Go ahead and check out one of the other 2 League One games we have going on tonight. I think we got 2 good ones on our hands. But for this one, we'll see you later.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.
By the way, made contact with the Greenville player. So here come Richmond. Here's a shot, and it bends in! Richmond! By the way, made contact with the Greenville player. So here come Richmond. Here's a shot, and it bends in! Richmond! Greenville pushes forward. Still going with it. Castro flicks it on. McKinnon with the volley. Tried to... Greenville pushes forward. Still going with it. Castro flicks it on. McKinnon with the volley. Tried to be a part of building a strong team chemistry year to year. McKinnon squares this in the middle. It's off the crossbar. Be a part of building a strong team chemistry year to year. McKinnon squares this in the middle. It's off the crossbar. To Belmar. Vinyals going forward. Vinyals into the 18. Still with it. Tried to get it by the keeper. And stretching out his arm there was to Belmar. Vinyals going forward. Vinyals into the 18. Still with it. Tried to get it by the keeper. And stretching out his arm there was... Will get this one thrown back in, and some flag waving here from the Reedy River Riot. Good showing from Greenville tonight. Offensive program, University of Denver, and someone who likes... There they are. 5 more minutes. Will Richmond hang on to this advantage, or will Greenville add some more excitement to this game? Well, we got some sort of excitement here. Simon Fitch getting the yellow card. Looked like he hit Evans on the face. A long ball from Wu. It looks like it's clotheslined him. Very easily a yellow card there.
A caution has been issued by the referee.
Another nice addition to this new venue, or not an addition, but it is a new addition to the broadcast. We get the electric boards, which were on the other side at Legacy Early College. Overcome it. You're going to win a championship. And that was not something. Couple whistles from our official here. It's going to be a yellow card for Nil Vinyals. Five more minutes. The moment is what he's trying to take here. And Mazzola will rush up the pitch to get this one started. Couple whistles from our official here. It's going to be a yellow card for Nil Vinyals. Five more minutes. Will Richmond hang on to this advantage? And Mazzola will rush up the pitch to get this one started. And Mazzola will rush up the pitch to get this one started. The moment is what he's trying to take here. Labovitz slicing in from behind and will be given a warranted yellow card. By the way, they made contact with the Greenville player. So here come Richmond. Here's a shot, and it bends in! Richmond, by the way, made contact with the Greenville player. So here come Richmond. Here's a shot, and it bends in! Richmond, 5 more minutes. Will Richmond hang on to this advantage, or will Greenville add some more excitement to this game? Well, we got some sort of excitement here. Simon Fitch getting the yellow card. And Mazzola will but moments. By the way, made contact with the Greenville player. So here come Richmond. Here's a shot, and it bends in! Richmond, by the way, made contact with the Greenville player. So here come Richmond. Here's a shot, and it bends in! Richmond, 5 more minutes. Will Richmond hang on to this advantage, or will Greenville add some more excitement to this game? Well, we got some sort of excitement here. Simon Fitch getting the yellow card. Looked like he hit Evans on the face. A long ball from Wu. It looks like it's clotheslined him. Very easily a yellow card there.
A caution has been issued by the referee.
Another nice addition to this new venue, or not an addition, but it is a new addition to the broadcast. We get the electric boards, which were on the other side at Legacy Early College. Overcome it. You're going to win a championship. And that was not something. Couple whistles from our official here, and it's going to be a yellow card for Nil Vinyals. Artificial Abdu and Diet.
The referee has issued a caution to Richmond's number 10.
Couple whistles from our official here, and it's going to be a yellow card for Nil Vinyals. Artificial Abdu and Diet.
The referee has issued a caution to Richmond's number 10.
And Mazzola will rush up the pitch to get this one started. So Mazzola gets the go-ahead. Pavone's going to get a yellow card here. And Mazzola will rush up the pitch to get this one started. So Mazzola gets the go-ahead. I think Pavone's going to get a yellow card here. But Moments is what he's trying to take here. Labovitz slicing in from behind and will be given a warranted yellow card. But Moments is what he's trying to take here. Labovitz slicing in from behind and will be given a warranted yellow card. Greenville pushes forward, still going with it. Castro flicks it on. McKinnon with the volley. Tried to. Greenville pushes forward, still going with it. Castro flicks it on. McKinnon with the volley. Tried to be a part of building a strong team chemistry year to year. McKinnon squares this in the middle. It's off the crossbar. Be a part of building a strong team chemistry year to year. McKinnon squares this in the middle. It's off the crossbar. To Belmar. Vinyals going forward. Vinyals into the 18. Still with it. Tried to get it by the keeper. And stretching out his arm there was to Belmar. Vinyals going forward. Vinyals into the 18. Still with it. Tried to get it by the keeper. And stretching out his arm there was. Will get this one thrown back in, and some flag waving here from the Reedy River Riot. Good showing from Greenville tonight. Offensive program, University of Denver, and someone who likes. There they are. Will get this one thrown back in, and some flag waving here from the Reedy River Riot. Good showing from Greenville tonight. Offensive program, University of Denver, and someone who likes. There they are.